Good evening, everyone. This is Amy Blesser. I am Liana's online business manager. She's having a couple of technical difficulties, so keep sending those questions in. I can see questions from Inna and Catherine Martin and Loretta and Karen, so keep sending those questions in, and she is going to be right with us. But I wanted to go ahead and start so people knew that we were working on it and going to be addressing everything. Feel free to, in addition to asking questions, just say hello to Liana if you'd like to. I'll be reading her all the questions and sharing with her your messages and greetings. And it looks like she's just about getting on. Oh, she disappeared on us again. I apologize. She's having a little bit of technical difficulties, having trouble getting her computer to connect. If you're just joining us, this is Amy, and we're glad that you're here. Liana is having a couple of technical difficulties, and she's trying to join us. Her computer is not cooperating tonight.
Hello.
There she
Amy,
is.
can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you. I went ahead and started the broadcast because I didn't want anybody sitting here worried that it was not happening. So I went ahead and said hello and just told people that you were having technical difficulties. And we have several questions and hellos.
We were. Hi. So can you, Amy, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody. So whatever you need to do, just let me know. Can I just have a couple of minutes before we get started and jump in and dive in?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you. I want to make sure that you can hear me well, the thing that we were having difficulty with.
I can hear you well.
So if you can just give me a... Okay, great, wonderful. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. Go ahead, Amy. Was there something else you wanted to share?
Oh, I was just going to tell you that the video quality is not great, but it will have to deal with it tonight.
Yeah. So I'm going to move as little as possible. It might work better. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for taking time out of your busy day. I know that you all have a lot of things to do, and all of us are trying to experiment and see where we can plug our time in and where we can learn, and that's why we created Ask Liana. So I welcome you to an evening full of questions and more answers than you have questions, full of the understanding about image therapy, to try to get you to learn as much as you can in the little bit of time that we have together. So thank you for being here. I'm grateful. I've had an amazing day, and this is the pinnacle on my day. So thank you all for being here. Amy, would you like to just share questions? Can we get people online, or how's this going to work best?
We can share questions. On the Google Hangout, you can submit questions using the Q&A box that is on the right-hand side of your screen. We already have quite a few questions having come in and greetings coming in. So if you'll click on the bottom right-hand side, there's a green button that says Ask a Question. If for some reason you're having trouble with that, please feel free to post it underneath the video on the event page, and I am watching that, and we'll queue those questions up for Liana as well. So just before we get started, Liana, we have lots of people wanting to say hello. Catherine Martin is here. She said, Liana, it's great to see you. So exciting to be here. Karen Rolfe is here, and she wanted to say hello.
Oh my God, from the East Coast! Hey! Hey, everyone! And tell me who else is here.
I apologize, I'm probably going to pronounce your name wrong. It's Alexander von Gimbut is here, and he says, sorry, not a question.
You are kidding! I went to school with We went to high school together. Oh, that just makes me my heart. Hi, Alex. Wie geht's dir? Mwah. Thank you for being here.
He says, best regards from our Hamburg days friend north of her. And Inna is here. Karen is here. Fahika Tafara is here.
Yes, that's the new beautiful who came through. We have no idea where you came from, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're part of our community and part of our tribe, and I would love to hear more from you. So if you have questions, please post them.
Great. And Loretta is here, and I'm sure there's many more here, many more folks here, but go ahead and just submit your questions, and Liana, when you're ready, just let me know.
Amy, I just have a request for you because of the technical stuff that was going on.
Yes.
There were a lot of questions that Esther had. Esther had a ton of questions, and she had posted them, I think, on Google before, I think, this morning. So if you have any way to access those and ask them, she had some really wonderful questions. It'd be great if we could get those.
Actually, I was going to start with those questions because she was the first person to post, so I was going to start with her questions.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
All right, so these are questions from Esther, and she says, her first question is, who can wear military-style jacket vibe, short, cropped with shoulder pads, and tons of metal buttons?
That's a great question. All of her questions are great. So the understanding of image therapy is that you reflect on the outside, on your second skin, what the essence of you on the inside and your body structure, so your style architecture is not just the outside of your style, but it's also the inner essence of who you are. And then there are multi-levels to this dimension of your masterpiece, and they all have to do with some version of design, the design in your skin, the design in your hair, the design in your voice, because if you have a very little delicate voice, no matter how big your body is, you can't wear big epaulets or big buttons. So all of what you can wear, what goes onto your body, is in relation to all of who you are. The sound of your voice, the intensity of your gaze, the structure of your body, the way you move in the world, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you tilt your head, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. So the question you have is fabulous, Esther. It's just that we need a body to put that jacket on so that I can give you an example, and that would be my favorite, Queen Latifah. So she's a sturdy woman with a lot of density. She's got a big voice. All of the design elements in her face are large. So when she wears a thick military jacket with epaulets and gold stuff hanging from it, it'll replicate the proportion and the visual weight of her body. And that would be one person who could wear it. I don't know if she would, but she could. But Callista Flockhart, you know, those are my two favorite opposites. She wouldn't be able to. She would just drown on a big, weighty jacket like that. And that's your answer. What's the next question?
Okay. I'm going to balance Esther's questions, if that's okay. Balance Esther's questions with the questions of other folks who are here as well, okay? Mm-hmm. So we have a question from Karen. She says, hi, Liana. I don't have any kind of jacket that is not for around horses. I need something that is a couple steps up from that, but not super fancy, and doesn't need to be that warm. Any tips for me?
So I didn't hear the first part before the not so fancy. Can you repeat the first portion of that question?
Absolutely, I apologize. She says that she doesn't have any kind of jacket that is not for around horses. She needs something that's a couple steps up from that, but not super fancy.
Okay, got it, got it. Yes, Karen, I have it. It's hanging back there, and I'm going to show it to you. It's a purple cardigan that's almost like a duster, but not quite a duster. So you would think it's actually hanging back there. If you could, that would be great. It's a purple. It's in the other room, sweetheart, in the white room. So it's a longer. It should be a knit. So that's the first thing. And the reason why it should be a knit is because a knit does not connote so much of a structure, so it's not so fancy, and it can go with jeans, and it can go over a skirt, and you can diversify it. You know, you can wear it with slacks and make it a little bit more elegant, and you can wear it with jeans and a tank top underneath, and you can make it look a little bit more casual. And I think what you're looking for, because I know your wardrobe, because half of it I built, and you got it at the event last November, is that what you need in between is this, the quality of something that looks still very elegant and has casual at the same time. So when you do it, it's right there, sweetheart. It's like a purple with a big collar. Knit. It's a purple knit. Lilac purple. So when you're looking at yourself and you're looking at your wardrobe, you want to be able to use all the pieces, like the t-shirts and the tank tops and the jeans, and maybe a longer, elegant slack, skinny slacks, or the wide ones. And you want to be able to integrate that one piece with all of those casual and a little bit more up level. So a long cardigan would be great. A linen duster would be great. Some of this also depends on where you're going to wear it, you know, what country you're going to wear it in. Are you going to be in California, or are you going to be in New York? So if you were in New York, I would say you need 2 or 3 of these versions, because you need them for really hot summer when it's humid, then you need one for the winter when it's really cold, which is most probably going to be a cashmere version of a coat, and then you're going to need one for autumn, for like the middle section of the year. So that answers your question. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We can't find it, so I'll send you a picture of it.
Our next question is from Loretta. She says, my clothing consists of slacks and blouses. How do I know what new style might be more appropriate for my body?
Oh, Loretta, that's such a beautiful question, because it tells me a lot about you. It tells me that you're ready to up-level your game to a different step, to another level. And so what that means for you, Loretta, it's just thinking outside of your box. You have a uniform that's been saving you and that has worked for you. You know, when we don't know what to do, we stick with what works. So we just stick with the pant that we've bought for so many years. And especially if our weight doesn't go up and down, we just continue to do the same thing over and over again. And we know that statement in AA that says, you know, it doesn't work to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So thank you for the question, because it shows me that you're ready to up-level. So in order for you to up-level your body type, you're never going to be able to wear physically, because it doesn't make you comfortable, wear things that are very, very form-fitting and hugging. It also would be out of your generation, and it also would be disrespectful to the farm that you live in. So for you to go up a level means just wearing cardigans instead of a big oversized shirt. You know, just getting a little closer to your body. Or try wearing a dress. We have to find you a beautiful dress. And start molding things a little closer to your body, because I think that from what I've seen you wear is that you think you're bigger than you are, and your clothes are actually 1 or 2 sizes too large on you. So I can't wait to get my hands on you in January. and show you what that looks like maybe. So thank you for the question.
Our next question, our next question is from Anna, and she wants to know what colors are best for her and what she can wear for her body type, which is hourglass.
I love that Ina's asking that question because Ina is, hi Ina! So because you can't see Ina's face, and I love when people ask me the question, what colors can I wear? And sometimes I say, it's almost as if you're walking into a car lot and you say to the car salesman, excuse me, I want to buy a car. Which car should I buy? That's as broad as the question, what color can I wear? And the truth of it is that you, all of you who are watching, have the innate structure of who you are right there in the mirror. So you get really close to the mirror and you start looking at your face. That's why I'm kind of getting in your face like this. And you look at all the pieces in your face. You look at the color of your forehead, you look at the color under your chin, you look at the color under your eyes, on the side of your face, you look at the freckles and the moles, and you look at the distinctions inside your pupil. Because even if your eyes are dark brown or green or blue, once you get really close, you'll start seeing many of the colors that you can wear, even if they're really deep chocolate brown. So if your hair is brown, and you're choosing to dye it blonde, Ina, don't do that. Your hair is such a gorgeous brown chestnut color. And the colors in your skin are so diverse, of dusty rose, and there's some orange, and there's some pink. And just going by the colors that you can wear. So the major distinction, because most of you are going to say, well, how do I know what's my skin tone? So the major distinctions in your skin tone are a brown version of your skin tone, and then a pink version of your skin tone. So those distinctions are called, the brown version is called the melanin part of your skin tone. The pink version, see that when you squeeze it? Hold on. When you squeeze it, it gets red. That's the hemoglobin part of your skin tone. Melanin, hemoglobin. So the melanin part is always the part that gets tanned and gets to be more mocha. And the hemoglobin part is always the part that's going to go more to dusty rose and burgundy. That's where your red resides. So theoretically and practically, the easiest thing for all of you to do is to look at a color and see how close you can get it to your skin tone. And you find your hemoglobin skin tone, the part that's red and dark and blood. Hema comes from blood, from the Latin word blood. You find it. So when I ask you to squeeze your fingers like that and look at that color, or you have a zit in your face, I know you guys are going to think this is crazy, but look at the inside of your lips, look at the inside of your eyelids, look at the color under your chin if you have a sore when you've shaved, for the gentleman out there. Alexandra's going to think this is absolutely ridiculous, but you shave and you cut yourself and it starts healing, and that burgundy color, whatever that is, of a burn, of a scar, those are all colors that are innately inside your body, and those are colors you can wear. So for all those people who run around with these little color sticks and this is my color and this is my color, you all will have a much better handle on what your color is because you're learning it from the ground up. Because every single color that you can wear in the world is in your skin. And whatever is in your skin is also in your hair, and it's also in your eyes. So if I were to have to paint your colors, all the colors that you wear are inside that paint bucket that makes up your skin and your hair and your eyes. So the first step is to try to match those. That's Image Therapy 101, color portion. I'm ready for the next question, Amy.
Great. While we're talking about colors, Fahika has a question. She says, I have heard of having warm and cool undertones. Is there such a thing as having a neutral undertone, which allows you to wear a wider range of colors?
That's a very good question. No, it's the thing that allows you to wear the widest range of color is your natural triad. So your natural triad means you're looking at me, this is my hair. There's nothing that's not naturally a component of what my body is doing right now. So you see the silver, it's evident. That's actually a question Catherine Martin was asking. She was asking if my hair is silver, but I'm dyeing it to my original hair color, what were to happen if I stopped dyeing my hair? So these questions all are kind of linked together. So the components in your blood that take the melanin out of your skin and the melanin out of your hair are the same components that run through your skin, that run through your eyes, that run through your whole body. So if you're more of a neutral person, meaning I'm just going to go around the world, because when we go from country to country, there's like a holistic way of looking at the skin color, which is the most beautiful way of looking at it. So if we start in Europe, most people are fair and they have blue-green eyes and they have blonde hair or ashy blonde hair. And then we go over to Eastern Europe and they become a little darker and the cheekbones become a little higher. And then we go over to China and the skin becomes a little more golden and yellow with yellow undertones, and really, really dark hair, what we call black. But there's actually a lot of blue in it, navy. So you go all over the world and you go to India and then there's really, really dark skin and dark hair, and really the whites of their pupils are really like bright white and their teeth are bright white, which is actually how you can distinguish what color white you can wear. Match the whites of your eyes and match the whites of your teeth. Because if it's not, then the white shows up before you do. That's just a little tidbit. So as you're going along all over the world and you're looking at all of these distinctions, you get to see that, yes, some people have yellow undertones and some people have golden undertones, which is even different, because yellow can be cool yellow and then gold can be really warm. But that doesn't make it a broader spectrum for any human being. The broadest spectrum that any human being can have is to stay with their original color triad. So I don't dye my hair. If I were to dye my hair, you wouldn't see the silver, and then I would take something away from the world seeing a part of the authentic me. So the more authentic you are in your coloring, the more versatile you get to be from the neck down. When you start dyeing your hair, you actually shrink the possibility of wearing more colors, because now suddenly your hair and your skin and your eyes don't match because the hair color doesn't match the rest of it. And so I say this to a lot of my clients, and some of you have been on Facebook and you've watched Abby Moneyhun ask all these questions. She's a client of mine who came to me about 8 years ago, and we had this long discussion. She had her VIP day, and she said, "Really, Liana, you think I should stop dyeing my hair? I'm tired of it." And it took her 8 years. And just a few months ago, she did this whole thing on Facebook, and she let it grow out, and then she buzzed it all off. And those of you who want, go look her up. The difference is unbelievable. First of all, she was covering her whole face up. And I kept saying, you know, if the minute you get the hair out of your face and you let the world see the real you, even though you're dyeing your hair to the color that it used to be, once you let it grow silver and you let that really come through, you're going to look lighter, you're going to have more options in your clothing, and you're just going to, the way you express yourself is going to be very different. Because the truth is, when we hide under this, there's always the knowing that something isn't right. The soul kind of knows it. It's not authentic. Like, you wouldn't go into the woods and spray paint a tree and say, "Ah, excuse me, I don't like that color green. I think you should be purple." But we do it to this. We do it to this gorgeous, beautiful masterpiece that was created by the same source that created rivers and mountains and the moonlight and glistening waves under the moonlight. So stop doing that. Stay who you are and let the world see all of your beauty. That was a very long-winded answer to the question.
Great. Linda is here tonight, and she had a comment, and she said about your examples of where to look for colors, and she said, "So funny, got a bruise the other day and was so excited to learn more about my purples."
That's right.
Thank you.
Is this Linda Forsythe?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Linda. You're right. You get very creative. I mean, my mother just fell and broke her arm. And for those of you who know my mom, she's very fair, and you know, she dyes her hair with henna, so her hair has like this color in it. It's orange. And after all these years, she still doesn't listen to me. And I say, "Mom, you can't do that. That shouldn't be in your hair." But what was interesting is she fell down. She broke her shoulder. God bless her. And then she started bruising. And that's exactly what happened. She went purple and yellow and golden and all the color. And it was like, it was a huge space. So it wasn't just like a small little portion. And that's where you could really see it. You know where you can really, really see it is when women get facelifts, and when the blood gets clogged up, and then it starts seeping down into their neck and into their chest. That's where it shows up in really big patches. And it's like you're a walking color palette. So, yeah, thank you for that comment. Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, I have a question from the Google Hangout page from Renee, and she said please ask you where she can get some of that sexy burgundy jacket Liana suggested for me.
Oh, I'll show it to her. Hold on, I'll show it to her. It's hanging in the back because I wanted to post pictures of it and I didn't have time. You know the burgundy leather jacket with the dark sleeves? The body is burgundy leather.
Oh, I know.
It's hanging back there.
Got it.
I promise you I'm going to show it to you. It's like butter. I promise to show her. So thank you for asking that question. So Renee is asking this question because Renee had posted a picture on Facebook in a black leather top that was really high cut, and she's such a sexy, gorgeous woman. And I said to her, "Yeah, I know that looks sexy, but this is much sexier." So let's see if we can show you this. Here it is, my dear. And I hope you can see it, because if you can, text. And it does have black sleeves, but the body is totally burgundy. It's like a vintage leather. It's got zippers on the top. It's got a side. It kind of like closes off to the side. You can rip up the collar. It's really fitted, so it's kind of comes in at the waist. So it's not bulky and big. It's kind of like a feminine, elegant motorcycle jacket. And I found this for you, and I went, okay, I have got to show her this. So if you're getting a box, this is going to be in it. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, you found it. Oh, thank you. Okay, Karen, we found your jacket. Here it is. So, and I can't stand up because we're in a little bit of a cramped space for technical difficulties today. So this is it. It's textured. It's got a lot of texture on your collar, and it's really long. Can you see that? and it's got ruffles on the bottom. So this is the kind of long jacket that would go really well over jeans and slacks. And thank you, honey. Thank you and it's belted.
Liana,
Thank you.
can you bring that back for a minute? Because of the delay with the camera,
Yeah.
if you can just hold it still for a minute so that we can see a little, the camera can focus on it and see a little bit of the detail. I think that'll help Karen. Okay, that's great. Just because of the delay, it's a little hard to see the detail in it. So that's great. Fabulous.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now both Mira and Catherine had questions about the relationship between your hair color and clothing and what you wear. So I'm going to ask both of them if they would let me know if Liana answered their questions or if there is some clarification that you would like, okay? I know for one, Catherine wanted to make sure that if she said my natural color now is actually gray. If I decide to stop coloring my hair, will that mean that all my new Liana clothes will have to change?
No, they won't, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when I pick clothes for you, because you were part of the 3-day weekend, Catherine, and you're a VIP client, so you had the opportunity to work with me in a room one-on-one for 3 days. It was intense. And when I shop for you during those sessions and bring the clothes to the event, I look at all of your coloring. So I take so when I hand you something like that purple lilac cardigan, when I hand that to you, I hand it to you knowing that I picked it out with the undertones of what's in your hair and your skin and your eyes, even if your hair is dyed. Now, it's going to look different when your hair goes silver, because you have to consider this, when this is silver, this is like a living, breathing accessory that you can never take off. So everything from the neck down is going to have to coordinate with what's happening up here. So when you see, for example, when you see these little old ladies that are 95 years old and they're walking down the street with this pitch black hair, and you know that is just not right. It's because it's too crass, it's too contrasty. And when you came to the class, your hair was actually fairly light. You know, you started dyeing it slowly after we first met. But you can't go from completely blonde, which is what you were. I actually want you to put those pictures on Facebook, please, because people need to see. I don't know if you did that, if you did the really, really blonde with the purple shiny outfit, but you were so blonde. So, and then some people say to me, you know, Liana, I go blonde because my hair got so silver underneath, but I don't want to go back to my original hair color because I'm going to look like one of those little old ladies. But the truth is, there's a midsection, there's a midway that you can do. For those of you who were blonde children, you most probably want to stay blonde adults because you got darker in between and you didn't like the fact that you got darker because you look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself. But nature took its toll, and nature does what nature does. Blonde children get older and they become darker. And then when you're about 22, 23, your hair becomes really dark, and most blonde girls don't like it. That's why there's so many hairdressers in California telling women that they have to go blonde and blonde and blonde, and it just breaks my heart. So to answer your question, no, when your hair goes silver, when you choose to not dye it, your color palette will be fine.
Great. We have lots of comments about the jacket. Karen loves the jacket and says that you are definitely teasing her. Catherine says, oh, that is so Karen.
Yes, it is.
All right, so Linda has a question, and I'm just going to go ahead and read that. It says, I'm thinking I need some fall riding boots, relatively low heel, or I am not comfortable, not black, and a little more whimsical. Perhaps the, okay, and a little more whimsical perhaps than the typical ones I find. I am now wearing more color, more feminine skirts, and slow to move from sandals.
Yeah, you need whimsical. You do need whimsical boots. And you know what, Linda? I packed up a major box. No, the golden ones. Thank you, sweetheart. The golden and the brown cowboy boots. So I packed up a box for a client yesterday, and there were boots in there that were just totally you, and I'm going to describe them to you. They're half bootlets, and the other ones too, thank you. They're half bootlets, and they're olive green, and the side, and they have a little heel like this, and they look a little bit like Mary Poppins bootlets. So they come up halfway to and the suede ones, the suede cowboy boots. Thank you. They're halfway up, like a little bit that much above the ankle, and the side is green lace. Oh my God! And I saw those and I thought, okay, those have to be in your closet. So I'm going to show you some beautiful riding boots. And are they whimsical? For me, it's not just the fact that something is whimsical. No, they're cognac. Those are good. Those blue ones are great. And they're cognac. They're really tall, over the knee, suede. Yeah, they should be in there.
In the closet?
No? Okay, we'll find them. Do you see the studs on here? I know that Linda's going to say, oh my God, that's way too shiny and way too elegant. But the truth is that where you're going with your wardrobe, this is the next step up for you, Linda, is something just a little more elegant and still whimsical, or something that looks like this. And I know that you don't like this heel, but the truth is, sometimes when you get dressed up, it's nice to have something that looks really feminine and elegant and classy. So this is one. The one that's in someone else's box is the other one. I think she bought those.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. Thank you, sweetie. And this is another Mary Poppins, really beautiful Mary Poppins bootlet. So have you guys noticed none of these are black? Blue, French blue, and honey cognac. So for all of you who are saying, oh my God, there's only black out there, I can't find anything in color. No. I mean, those of you who are in the Virtual Style Academy right now, you have the option of have me shop for you. So you have the option of a box, luxury style box. And those of you who've been with me and have taken another class or another course, you know what it's like when you get a box and you open it and it's like Christmas. And I just want to share this with you because I'm always surprised at the fact that, because I have to take the responsibility of finding things for you, you know, and I can be saying stuff to you all day. I can say, yeah, you need this, you need that color, but somehow I feel like there's always a big blessing on my life and the life of my clients, because when I set an intention to go out and find something for someone, like that jacket, Renee, I found that jacket the day after I saw your black top leather picture on Facebook, and I set an intention. I said I have to show her a way that it doesn't always have to be black, you know. And I think that most of you live in a realm where that's all you can see, because that's all you've looked for. So now that you're opening your minds and your hearts to a new way of of seeing the world, meaning you take the eyes out of your head and then you drop them into your heart and you view the world from here, all these beauties are going to show up. And the more you learn the distinctions of what's right for you, the easier it's going to be for you to make a decision. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, we have another question from Fahika, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Hopefully you'll join us in class tomorrow and I can learn the correct pronunciation. Her question is, I have noticed for many years that I do not like to wear necklaces that sit right above the cleavage or in the V of a shirt or sweater. They seem off to me somehow, like too much is happening. Am I picking up something about proportion?
Yes, yes, you are. Congratulations. I'm going to show you, while I'm talking to you, or while we're getting maybe a next question, let me just ask Jay Lee to find something for me. So hold on one second. Would you do me a favor and get me the, there's a big pearl necklace, and you know, with lots and lots of pearls, and they're hanging on the little mannequin, the baby mannequin. Okay. And then there's one necklace with these big chunky green, and then find something that's like skinny and little. Okay. So those three. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Amy, is there another question that we can talk about? Because I'm just going to wait, because I'd like to find some examples, because you're right. Can you spell Faika's name for me so I can...
Help me pronounce it correctly? Sure.
No, so I can pronounce it correctly.
It's F-A-C-I-K-A.
F-A-C-I...
K-A.
Fasika. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong too. I wish I could hear her say it.
Hopefully tomorrow we can. Yeah. Okay. While Jay Lee is pulling those things together, Linda has a question, or actually it's a two-part question. One is, what was the company that makes great sweaters from recycled sweaters? And her second is that she's deep into the search for new frames to replace her purple glasses. Can you remind me what to find?
Yes, that's a great question, Linda. So I don't know the company that makes the recycled. I don't know them off the top of my head. I know that in LA, actually, in Venice Beach, there are a couple of companies that do that, but I don't know what their names are. And then there are the trick about glasses, which is like a half-day workshop on its own. So the trick about glasses is, as I'm cleaning mine to show you, is that glasses need to finish up at the top of your eyebrow. So they need to kind of hug the outer part of your eyebrow, or at least end up there. And then they need to kiss the lower part of your orbital bone. So your orbital bone is the bone that is sitting at your eye socket, so the basic eye socket. So you kind of feel along the way, and you can feel where the eye socket is. And you know who's got a huge eye socket is Cher. So when I used to work with her, I sometimes, she would be standing in a fitting for 3 hours, and I'd look at her and I'd go, damn, she's got a big eye socket. So you can see that the back of her lid is really big, and so the distance between her eyebrow and the orbital bone, the bottom of the cheekbone, top of the cheekbone, bottom of the orbital bone, this area here is really large. She's also got a really large forehead. So why am I saying all this? Because your glasses don't just have to sit here, they also have to fit into the rest of your face. So the rest of your face is made up of design elements. Your forehead is one, your eyebrows are one, then your cheekbones are a design element. What's your nose doing from the side? Do you have a Middle Eastern face with a with a large nose that comes out, which means there's lots of dimensionality? Or do you have an Asian face where the face is much, the mask of the face is much like less? I don't want to say flat because it's never flat, but there's less dimensionality going on. So when you're looking at your face and your glasses, you don't want to just look at this and say, oh, yeah, those are nice. I'll take those. 2 of those. No. You look at the front. You look at what the glasses are doing in proportion to the rest of your face. Does the bottom of the curve of the glasses match the curve of your chin? Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, huh? So if it curves on the top and finishes with your eyebrows, it has to finish at the side of your face, at the temple, not go out, not be up here, not be big like that cat eyes. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you're wearing glasses during the day on a regular basis, you want those glasses to be a support system to you, not show up or walk in a half an hour before you do. You want them to be the platter upon which your eyes are presented to the world. So the less glasses you see, the better it is. And for those of you who have to wear glasses all the time, like Gloria was on a Skype session with me today, I suggest, to most of my clients, I suggest get the ones that are only held up by a sidebar and a middle nose bridge. And then get the rest of it curved to your orbital structure. Make a template out of this piece so that it fits right in, and then they can cut it to the size that you want. And so the more invisible the glasses are, the more visible your eyes are. Did that answer your question, I hope? Because Amy, I would like to go to the next
Okay.
answer.
Well, to set the record straight, it is fascica.
Fascica! Yay! We got it!
It is, and she put in here FA-SEE-KA.
Yeah, fascica. That's what I thought. Cool.
Okay. Thank you for doing that for us.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd love to see your face. Okay, Fasika, you are absolutely right. And I'm going to venture and guess that you have a very classic face. Let's see if she's going to type that back in. You have a classic face, and that any kind of a big, clunky, or busy necklace is going to be very distractive to your face. Kind of like this. Because when you have a classic face and you have design elements that are fairly large, you don't want anything hanging out under your chin that's going to distract. You see that? So if a necklace like this is going to live on you, it has to reflect exactly who you are. It has to be proportioned to the design elements in your face. It has to be the right color. It has to blend. So accessories, that's one of the reasons actually why we do accessories in the year program that I do. Accessories are way at the end, because accessories are like the crowning on top of a cake. And most people think, oh, that's just so easy, I'll just throw a necklace on it, or because they want to fix the outfit. But accessories are not a fix. Accessories are, it's like putting the diamond on top of a wedding cake. So when the outfit isn't right, you're not going to be able to fix it with a brooch or with a big necklace. Or, you know, when people say this to me often, when half their closet is black, and I go, no, let's not do this. They go, but I can fix it with a scarf. I can fix it with a necklace. Here, see? I can put this big necklace on and it'll be gorgeous. But that's just a fix. You don't want to fix anything. You want to create a wardrobe. that is an absolute reflection, whether it's the shoe, whether it's the pantyhose, whether it's the bra. Every single piece looks divine and magical and absolutely scrumptious on you. And as you create that, it's almost as if, you know that feeling that you get when you're dressing a Christmas tree? And each tree has its own unique flavor and beauty and elegance and fullness, and some have lots of branches that branch out, but the branches are delicate. Some are really packed tight. So depending on what tree you get, you have to do the decoration and the dressing of the tree according to what the tree needs. And we are exactly the same. So when you start putting stuff, this much stuff, on a body that doesn't need it, then you're overpowering the masterpiece with a bunch of junk and distracting from this. And there are certain standards to that. So you have very soft and smooth skin, like a Granny Smith apple. Then your jewelry needs to be soft and smooth and not busy and chunky and crazy. But then there are people like Robert Redford, whose skin is so unbelievably textured, like an avocado. So for those people, they need a lot of texture. So whether you're smooth or whether you're textured, those are the two polar opposites. And then we are everything in between. But some of you are going to learn about that the week after next. Go ahead, Amy.
And Pasika did comment. She said, yes, oval and slightly round, small face, long neck.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our next question is from Denise. She says, hi, Liana. It is time for me to add to my wardrobe. I live in a rural area and therefore must travel to shop or shop online. Shopping is all a bit overwhelming. Where do you suggest I begin? I'd like to add a few pants and tops.
I suggest you call me. I suggest you call me because I want to hear your voice, and I miss you, and I want to support you in that. And I think that asking me that question is like going into a car lot and it's wanting a car. Denise, you've done so much of this work, and the truth is that wanting to find pants for your body type. So I'm not going to talk about Denise's body type. That's why I'm asking her to call me. But unless she gives me an okay to do so. So let's find out if Denise wants me to talk about it. Until then, I'm going to give you some more information, Denise. So type into your text box on Google whether you would, whether I can speak about your shape. That's the first thing. The second thing is, in order for you to buy pants and tops, it's like I have to know where you're going to be and in what area of the country you're going to be. Are you going to be up north in San Francisco or New York? Or because the easiest place to go is Macy's and Bloomingdale's, but the truth is that what you need is a little different than what they have at Bloomingdale's and Macy's, because you are, and I'm just going to say this because I love you, because you are so amazingly whimsical. Whimsical and interesting and bold and strong and magical at the same time. So call me. Did she say something that I can talk about her body type, Amy?
If she did, it has not come in yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, so I've held off on this question because it involves a photo, and I'm not sure if I can show you the photo or not.
Okay.
The photo is from Jessica Tobiasen, and you might have seen it earlier. And it speaks to how does the column of color work with separates like these. So let me see if I can show you this image. Here we go.
I think while you're doing that, I'm just going to give a little bit of a background on column of color.
Can you see it now?
Yay! I just did.
Okay. Can you still see it?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so that is the image that Jessica shared with us.
Okay, hold on. Let me look at that again. Okay. Can you put that back on the main screen? Is that possible? Ah, good. Oops.
Is it on your main screen?
Now it is. But when I start talking, it goes away. So I'm just going to not say anything.
Well, let me read you the question that she says. How does this work with separates like these? What goes on the bottom is what she's really asking.
Okay. So good. So Jessica, let me just go back and give everyone a little bit more of an understanding about the column of color. So column of color is the basis, is one of the basics of dressing when you, in the beginning, when you are really flailing and you don't know. You know how many people wear just black and then they throw a scarf on it or they throw a jacket over it. So that's a column of, actually the absence of color, but that's considered a column. And I call a column of color one of the most important basic staples. You could have a dress and it could be a column of color. You know, it could be from your top to your knees. And then you can throw a scarf on it and you can throw a jacket on it. So it doesn't always, you don't always have to go by that rule. But when you decide to wear like a purple top with jeans, or you decide to wear chocolate brown pants with a cream colored top, then you want to start building an outfit around that. Meaning if you have chocolate brown pants, you could be wearing a cream colored top and wear a chocolate brown cardigan. That again would turn it into a column of color. So the piece that you're asking, Jessica, is about you and your wardrobe. It's about the teal top, what do you wear on the bottom? Or the burgundy top, and what do you wear on the bottom? And in your case, because you're one of your neutrals, one of your personal blacks is navy, everything that I saw there, I think you could be wearing with navy pants. Or jeans for that matter. Amy, Amy, how many more questions do you have on your calendar?
I have I'm looking to scroll through what are questions and comments. There are a number of questions still from Esther.
Okay.
To ask, and then there are just a couple more in here. And Denise said she would be in San Francisco.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
And then Sarah has a question about. She said, so only a couple more actually,
Okay.
except for a number of questions from Esther, which I know that you are going to be talking to her soon, so we could ask a couple of those, and then you could answer some of the more specific ones when you talk to her.
Yeah, because I want to be respectful of everybody's time, and we got started a little late, so we're going to be ending at 7:15. I just want people to know where we are with the time. So we are at 7:03. Okay, my dear. I think that what would be good is to take the diversity of questions and to see if we can answer more from. Is that your background, Amy? If we could answer more questions from. Is it Sarah? Which Sarah is asking the question? Just so that I know who I have to keep in mind when I'm answering it.
Sarah Guillet-Couteau.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Sarah.
And her question, one of her questions is about how do I know which is my black?
Well, Sarah, you just changed your hair color. So that's one of your blacks. Brown. And then you look at, so let's go back to understanding what the difference is between black, which is called silent, I call it silent black, or your personal black. So your personal black is a color that you can wear taken to its darkest level. So if you can see this behind me, this is a burgundy purple. And the edge, see when I hold it up to the camera, it becomes pink, but it's not really pink. Hey, can you do me a favor? Oh, this. Do you remember the burgundy leather jacket? That's a black. That's someone's black. Navy is someone else's black. So Jessica just asked a question, and I said, because your eyes are blue, navy is one of your personal blacks. So when you look inside your eye color, the colors that you can find are basically responsible for the black that you can wear, your personal black. And then the real trick is that teal is the universal black. So teal is one of the colors that most of us can wear. So I wish that they would make uniforms in teal, because teal looks great on, I've never seen anybody that teal doesn't look good on. So look at your eyes, Sarah. And your skin and your hair. And you'll learn more tomorrow night. Thank you, Amy.
One of the questions that I'd like to ask from Esther has to do with who can wear stripes, either horizontal or vertical.
Horizontal or vertical. Thank God we don't have any stripes here. So let's talk about this from a point of view of what would you like to know, something that's really stripy. We don't have anything that's really stripy. You know what? There's a workout top back there which is purple and green and it has some stripes in it. Thank you. So when you want to wear stripes, and you know those nautical designs where there's big fat navy and white and navy and white, stripes have to do with contrast level. And by contrast level, I mean what you see in my hair, or what you see, the distinction between the whites of my eyes and my pupils. You all have that. All of you have different contrast levels. When you have pale skin and fair hair and green eyes, and you're sitting next to me, so there's the fair-haired person, and then there's Elizabeth Taylor when she was a young woman with pitch black hair and really white skin, pale porcelain pink skin, and violet eyes. So between all of us, if you can imagine Elizabeth Taylor sitting here, she would be the person going by the highest contrast. And the reason for that is because her hair and her skin are so diametrically opposed in value. So the hair is really, really dark, and the skin is really, really white, and the lips are really red. And that one, yeah, thank you. And the lips are really red, and the eyes are really blue. So the distinctions are there. And the best way for you to notice this is if you take 3 or 4 different people who are all of different color combinations, meaning dark hair, light skin, chocolate brown eyes, blonde hair, you know, all those different, and then you take a close-up picture of all of their heads and their eyes wide open in black and white. And you'll be able to see the distinction. You'll be able to see who is the highest contrast and who is the lowest contrast. Because for those people who are fair-haired and fair-skinned and light green eyes, they will show up as the lowest contrast person. So when you're a low contrast person, to wear something that's a really high contrast, this piece is going to show up before you. There it is. That's really high contrast. So this is doing what my hair is doing. But the more silver this grows, the more this is going to show up on me and I won't be able to wear it. So as you go along in your color journey, it's not just stripes that you're looking for, because you could be wearing stripes and they could be showing up before you do, even if they're low contrast. So people ask me that a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that goes this way, and if you can just turn it around, it would be even better. But it's not so much about the stripe, it's more about the contrast. So when you have a stripe that's maybe chocolate brown and dusty rose and pink, it might show up really beautiful on you instead of navy and white or black and white. Is that good? I hope that answered your question.
Excellent. I think we're winding down for the evening for questions.
I am so glad you guys were all here. Did you have one more, or can we close the circle?
I think we can close the circle. There's a couple of questions that specifically have to do with the Virtual Style Academy that we can answer tomorrow evening.
Lovely, wonderful. If they're about color, we can do it tomorrow. I want to thank all of you from the East Coast, because it's really late for you. It's like 10 o'clock there. So I want to wish all of you a good night. Thank you for being here. So know this is once a month. And we've been getting so many requests that we might even do it twice a month. I don't know yet, so we'll see. I want you to feel that this is a space, that this is a space that's safe, and it's sacred, and it's a big part of my heart, and my goal is to spread this into the world, and so that's why we're doing it. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and I want to thank you, Amy, for your support, and thank you, Jaylee, for your support, and thank you, all of you, for your questions and your input, and I'm so excited that you are all here. Thank you. I'm sending you all a big kiss.